Hey guys, Dave here. I just finished up my review of Bond Number 9 New Harlem and thought I would do another review of something that I have had ready to review for a while and just keep putting it off for some reason. So, without further ado, we'll get into it. As you guys probably know, when you see it, that this is one of my personal favorites, and this is the original Dior Homme. Came out back in 2005 in the Perfumer-Olivier Polge. Very, very sexy bottle in my opinion. A lot of detail. Just very classy. One of the best looking bottles I own, and has an amazing, amazing sprayer on it. It will shoot like a straight stream if you don't push it down really hard. Otherwise it'll shoot a stream across the room, or if you push it down really hard and it sprays a lot. Very, very good sprayers on all three of the Dior Hommes that I have. As far as notes, we have a top of lavender, sage, and bergamot, mid of iris, amber, cocoa, and cardamom, and a base of Tahitian vetiver, patchouli, and leather. As far as bottle sizes, there's the two main ones that I've seen. I can't remember if there's an ounce one as well. There might be either a 1 ounce or 1.3, but the 1.7, this guy will run you anywhere from around 40 to 60, and the 3.4 anywhere from, I think, 55 to 75 or so. As far as classification, I would say that it's a sweet, woody floral. To me, it's sweet, woody, leathery, and floral. Right on top, to me, is mostly sage, lavender, and hints of iris and cocoa. It starts out sweet, but fresh and floral. It starts out more floral and far less sweet than the intense version, at least to me. To me, the top is mostly the florals with the sage and the lavender, and I also get just touches of the bitter cacao, the cardamom, and the iris as well. Once it reaches the mid, it starts to really shine. I get the bitter, savory cacao, powdery iris, and sweetness from the amber as well. The cardamom is definitely there, giving a little bit of spice, but it's more in the background. It's not in the forefront. I do also get just touches of vetiver in the mid and the dry note as well, but I find it to be very tamed. I don't know if it's the cardamom and the cacao just keep it from being in your face, but the vetiver is in the background in this one. The mid, to me, smells a lot like, almost like a waxy makeup type of vibe from the powdery iris, or like the inside. I know people have said this before, the inside of a woman's makeup bag. The iris is powdery, but it's almost wet and waxy, if that makes any sense to you guys. It's just a perfect balance between the iris, the cocoa, and the amber in the mid. I do start to get hints of the leather in the mid as well. It reminds me more of suede than it does of leather, though. Once it reaches the dry down, I absolutely adore the dry down of this one. I get the suede leathery vibe with patchouli, cacao, and touches of the amber and cardamom. The iris is still there as well, but it's not quite as in the forefront as it was in the mid. It's all blended together flawlessly. As I said, the iris is definitely round, but not front and center. It's surrounded by the patchouli, the cacao, the leather, and the amber. The best way to describe the smell of the dry down to me would be a really, really, really old leather-bound book that has makeup smudged on it. I would say that this is best for casual, romantic. I wear this for absolutely anything, personally. As far as what women think of it, most women really like this one, but some do say it's a bit too feminine, but the majority of them did like it. As far as age range, this one feels a little bit more mature to me, but I'm going to go ahead and say 20 and up. I do think people in their 20s can appreciate it. Their early 20s can appreciate this as well. As far as number of sprays, this is one of the few that I do 4 with. I do 1 on the neck, 1 on the back of the neck, and 1 on each wrist. As far as who would like this, I think that if you really like iris, more bitter cacao, leather, patchouli, you'll probably like this. The patchouli's not real in your face or anything, it's in the background, but it is there. If you really enjoy the smell of your girlfriend's worn out old purse, I think you should give this a try. Why would you not like this? It can be a bit too feminine for some. If you hate powdery scents, iris, cacao, or leather, I would avoid this one, as those are the main players as well. I think if you like, obviously makes sense, Dior Intense. I'll also say L'Instant Dior Lawn, and I'll also say Versace's The Dreamer. The Dreamer has that kind of powdery floral to it as well, but with tobacco instead of cacao. What do I think of when I wear this? I think of a library that contains really, really old leather-bound books that also has a pile of old makeup bags. As far as my ratings, overall smell, I love this one. I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10. To me, it's absolute perfection. It's a lot more complex than I think most people think it is, and it's just blended flawlessly. As far as projection, I'm only going to give it a 7.5 out of 10. It projects okay, but it's really not that well on me, and a little bit below average. As far as longevity, I'll give it an 8 out of 10. I get 6 to 8 hours, which is about average. Uniqueness, I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10. I find this one very unique personally. It's definitely getting more popular, but with this one, I don't care how popular it gets. I'm going to wear it anyway because I really enjoy it. As far as versatility, I'll give it a 9 out of 10. I find that this one can be worn for any occasion. It's classy enough for a wedding. It's casual enough for work or school. I have worn it in the summer as well, but I do believe it's best for fall, spring, and winter. Overall rating. This is one of the few that's going to get a 10 out of 10 for me. I think I've maybe done 3 or 4 that got a 10 out of 10. I'm not going to give very many 10 out of 10s. Despite its projection and longevity issues, this is an absolute work of art. It's so perfectly blended and just a wonderful concept that was just pulled off amazingly well. Well done, Mr. Polge and the Dior house. As far as buy, try, or pass, I'll say it's a must try. I think some people will find it too feminine and not enjoy it, otherwise I would say a buy, but I do think it's something you need to try. So guys, that is my review of Christian Dior's Dior Homme. A wonderful, wonderful scent. As always, thanks for watching guys, and please rate, comment, and subscribe.